Extending across the entirety of Northern Asia and much of Eastern Europe, Russia spans 11 time zones and incorporates a wide range of environments. From northwest to southeast, Russia shares land borders with Norway, Finland, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, along with the U.S. state of Alaska across the Bering Strait. Following the Russian Revolution, the USSR became the world's first constitutionally socialist state and a recognized superpower. The Soviet era saw some of the most significant technological achievements of the 20th century. This included the first human-made satellite and the first man in space. By the end of 1990, the Soviet Union had the world's second largest economy, largest standing military in the world, and the largest stockpile of weapons of mass destruction. Following the dissolution of the USSR in 1991, 14 independent republics emerged, with Russia being the largest. In the Soviet period, education was highly centralized, and indoctrination in Marxist-Leninist theory was a major element of every school's curriculum. The school's additional ideological function left a legacy in the post-Soviet system that has proved difficult for educators to overcome. In the 1990s, reform programs were aimed at overhauling the Soviet-era philosophy and substantially revising curricula. The Soviet government operated virtually all the schools in Russia. The underlying philosophy of Soviet schools was that teachers' jobs was to transmit standardized material to the students, and the students' job was to memorize those materials. Therefore, teachers and students were highly discouraged from having any individualism or creativity. The Soviet system also maintained some traditions such as the 5-point grading scale, formal and regimented classroom environments, and standard school uniforms. Post-Soviet educational philosophy also sought to integrate education with the production and economic processes into which graduates will pass in adult life. Envisioning a program of continuous education lasting throughout the lifetime of an individual, this concept has its goal of converting the education process from an economic burden to an engine of economic progress. Especially important in this program is the reorientation of vocational training to complement the economic reforms of the 90s. The Soviet Union suffered a shortage of teachers for decades before the 90s. Although society held the profession in high regard, teachers were among the lowest paid of all professions, at least partly because women dominated the field. The emerging market economy of the 90s improved pay and career opportunities outside teaching for many who would have remained in education under the more rigid Soviet system. Thus, the shortage got worse. In the 1992-93 school year, Russian schools had about 29,000 teacher vacancies, and the following year, 25% of all foreign language teaching positions went unfilled. The end of the communist system has led to extensive curriculum revision. The 1992 law on education stressed the humanistic nature of education, common values, freedom of human development, and citizenship. Our school systems between Russia and the United States do share many similarities. However, we do have differences. Mainstream and education for those with learning disabilities is very limited in Russia. Many developmentally disabled are not allowed to participate in regular schools. Russia also places a high emphasis on trade and vocational secondary schooling, whereas the U.S. focuses more on traditional colleges and universities.